Happy morning, students. Valga Valamudan. A marvelous Monday for you. Yes, today the end of the chapter. Okay, the third chapter in geography. Today we're going to complete the full chapter. Okay, what is the third chapter? Our changing earth. Okay, that is the chapter. So we're going to complete today that lesson. Okay, dears, are you ready? Yes. Last session in the PDF, in the previous we saw the work of rivers, how the work in the exogenic forces, what are the changes happens on the surface of the earth. Okay. Yes, because of the exogenic forces, the two important components for the changes, exogenic. Okay, what is that? Erosional and depositional. These two phenomena is the important reason for the changes happens on the upper surface for the exogenic. Okay, because of the exogenic. In that exogenic, first we saw the rivers work of the rivers, how the work, how the river starts, where it starts in the in the mountains. At that time, it fall on the rocks or on the earth at very high speed. Due to that, lot of changes happen. The rock may broken into small pieces, and the places may change into a valley. Okay, so the work of rivers, and then it starts to flow as its course river, then meanders. What is called meanders? The bent of the rivers are called meanders. Then we saw about the cliffs, sorry, not cliffs, levees, floodplains, then deltas, distributaries. In these ways, how the works giving changes on the surface of the earth we completed. Yes, I hope you understand what is endogenic and exogenic. Okay, in exogenic we completed the work of rivers. Okay, now in that itself, in the exogenic force itself, today you're going to see about the work of sea waves, work of wind, and work of ice. Okay, dears, shall we move? Yes, the rivers, a lot of changes given by the river, made by the river on the surface, earth surface. Okay. Now, what the changes made by the waves, we can see now. Okay. Yes, work of sea waves. We see that forceful waves on the seashore. We can see the erosion and the deposition of the sea waves gives rise to coastal landforms. Sea waves continuously strike at the rocks, cracks develop. Okay. So what's here we say, continuously the sea waves hit on the rocks as well as the sandy areas also. Because of that, the erosions happened. Okay, the erosions happen not only on the sandy areas, it's happened on the rocky areas also. So the cracks strikes at the rocks. Due to that, rocks developed on the cracks developed on the rocks. Okay, then what will happen? The rocks broken into many pieces, broke into many pieces, and that pieces of rocks change into soil. Then it turn into fine silt soil or the fine granule particles. Okay, so in that way soil is formed, we already see. Listen, next, sea caves. Okay, due to the force of the waves, how the caves formed, sea caves. Okay, the sea waves hit the rock continuously. Because of that, the weak point of the rock start to broke. Okay, or start to erode. The particular part, that is the weak part, removed or eroded because of the severe waves. Okay, so what's shown in that place? Hollow. Okay, over time the cracks become larger and wider. Thus, hollow-like caves are formed on the rocks. They are called sea caves. They are called sea caves. Okay, children? Yes. Listen. Wait. Sea arches we can see. Sea caves. First, the because of the high severe waves, strong waves hit the rocks. Because due to that, the weak part of the rock removed, eroded by the sea waves. So automatically there is a hollow in that place. That hollow we are saying as sea caves. Okay, that hollow we are saying sea caves. Okay, yes. Then next, see arches. See here in the picture, see arches I am giving. See arches means first continuously the sea waves hit the rock. Because of that, the weak part of the rocks eroded, removed. So what's present on that area? The hollow. It's looking like a hollow structure. We says that was sea caves. But again, continuously the rocks heated by the sea waves. Okay, continuously it is heated by the sea waves. So that time what happened? That time both the places, okay, both the places, this end and this end is removed. So what's present? Only a big hollow. Okay, that place shows like a arch, because the upper surface only, that means the roof of the rock only remains on the rock because of the sea waves. So that reminds we a structure we say sea arches. Yes, children. What is called sea arches? As the cavities of the rocks become bigger and bigger, only the roof of the caves remain, thus forming sea caves. Okay, is thus forming the sea caves. So the cavities means weak point or a hole or a hollow. Okay, that's called cavity. So you don't think the cavity on our tooth. Okay, yes. Here that cavity become bigger and bigger. So only the roof only remain. So thus remain part structure we are saying sea arches is here. Okay. Then next, stalks. Okay, this is also a feature of the sea made by the sea waves. Erosion breaks the roof. Then next one. First it removes the weak point of the rocks. It's look like a caves. That's we are saying sea caves. Then both the end is removed by the sea waves. That we say sea arches. Now that roof also removed by the strong waves. The rocks roof also removed by the strong waves. So it's called as stalks. Here you see, erosion breaks the roof and only walls are left. These wall-like features are called stalks. Okay, dear? Do you understand how many changes because of the sea waves? How many changes happens? First the rocks, sea caves formed, then sea caves turned into sea arches, then now it is sea stalks. Okay, only the pillar, the rocks like turn into pillars. Okay, that's called stalks. Okay, children. Yes. Next, these are the three changes given by the sea waves on the surface of the earth. Now sea cliff. Okay, sea cliff means what? This much times we saw the erosion. Okay, how the sea waves erode the rock. Okay, continuously it hitting and remove the weaker part of the rocks. Okay, now you are going to see the deposition. Okay, the sea waves also doing the deposition. It takes sands and soil and other particles, other minerals, materials, and deposit on the sea shore. Okay. The steep rocky coast rising almost vertically above sea water is sea cliff. The sea waves deposit sediments along the shores forming beaches. Okay, here what we are saying, the steep rocky coast rising almost vertically, because the sea waves bring some materials and sand and deposit on the rock. On the rock. So automatically what will happen? It's vertically raised. Okay, do you understand, children, what I'm saying? The sea waves brings the sand and other materials and deposit on the rocks. Okay, over the rocks. Okay, automatically the rocks, they raise its in the way, in the vertical way. Okay, then the sedimentation of sand and other materials are called shores. It's make the shores. That's called beaches. Okay, do you know the difference between the cliff and the shore beaches? Beaches on the rocks. Okay, beaches, sorry children, cliff means the sea waves keep some sediments on the rock. It's vertically raising. That's called cliff. And it made the shores and sediment the sand or soil. That place is called beaches. Okay? Yes, children. Then next, work of ice. Okay, this also made by the this work of the ice also giving changes on the earth. Glaciers. Okay, glaciers means moving river of ice. Okay, glaciers means moving river of ice. First you can see moraines. The materials carried by the glacier such as rocks, big and small, sand and silt gets deposited. Whatever the glaciers, the moving river of ice, bringing the rocks, whether it is a big rock or a small rock, or sand or silt, everything deposited in a place with the ice. This deposit is called as glacial moraines. Okay, it forms the glacial moraines. Okay, yes children, do you understand what is glacial moraines? Glaciers means a moving river of ice. Okay, at the time of moving, it carried such as whatever in the water, so many things carried when it is flow in its course. Okay, so that time it carried the rocks as well as that rocks may be small or big. That rock started to freeze with the sand and silt. That is called as glacial moraines. Okay, children? Yes, you just imagine what is glacial moraines. Okay? Yes. Then, as the ice melts, this is called ice rivers. We can say the ice rivers. As the ice melts, they get filled up with water. The melting ice gives the water to the low-lying areas. So that looks like a lake. So like that beautiful lakes we can see in the Jammu and Kashmir, and so in the so many places in the Himalayas. As the ice melts, they get filled up with water and become beautiful lakes in the mountains. Okay, yes, that also I'm giving here to see. Yes. Then work of wind. Before that, a small recap by the work of sea waves and work of ice. Okay, what are the changes given by the sea waves? The rocks eroded by the heavy sea waves. Sea caves formed. Then sea arches. Then sea stars. Then ice changes are given by the glaciers. Glacial moraines and glacial lakes are formed. Okay. Yes, children, till this we can complete in the session. Please, you will continue. We will continue in the next 15 minutes. Wait, yours.